All right, give me one sec. We'll make sure we got everything ready to roll. I got too many buttons, man. This week, we continue our fantastic 4-month sequel with a movie that would bring the Silver Surfer to the big screen. Galactus, on the other hand. Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Welcome back, you dirty babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast, a show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and joining me today, he's far too handsome to keep in a metal mask, Sweet Sean Zakovacs from the internet.
You know, Jessica Alba won a Blimp Award as favorite female movie star for her role in this film. Let's hope she lives up to it.
And he's had bigger gas than Galactus, Bruce Leslie.
Bring back the what was that award again? I've already forgotten what it was called. The Blimpies?
It's the Blimp Award.
Bring back the Blimpies. You know, I want to see another award that Jessica Alba can win.
Was that like that had to have been the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, right?
I thought so too. I doubled down because I wanted to look, but no, they actually were nominated for the Kid Choice Awards or the Nickelodeon Awards. The Blimp Award is something completely different. Weird.
The Blimp Awards, like, we don't want to be associated with that. Thank you very much. We call ourselves the Blimp Awards, not the Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Awards. Get that out of your mouth.
I believe that probably the Blimp Awards were put together by Jessica Alba's parents.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, how much stock did she have in Goodyear? That's probably where it came from.
Man. I tell you what, though, she's having the last laugh over everybody. She looks exactly the same, and she's rich as all get out.
It's true.
She's been an amazing business lady. That gal's got she's more than just a pretty face. That one, I'll tell you that, man. She's going to the bank on that one.
And she can afford to make a movie once every 5 years now. So good for her.
She don't even need to do that. But we are back, everybody. We're putting together our Marvel theme here, man. Fantastic Four has decided to come out and for the new month, the new Fantastic Four. What's this? The fourth generation, right? If you don't count any animation and stuff like that. We've been waiting a long time for it, and we figured with Fantastic Four First Steps, too many F's in that, even for me, we're going to be checking out all those eras of the live-action Fantastic Four. Last week, we covered the 94 Roger Corman produced that was intended to never go anywhere, but that Fantastic Four, then we got it all the way here to 2007 to check out the second Tim Story Fantastic Four movie, because in this newest Fantastic Four, that's what we got. Silver Surfer, this has got to be the same thing, right? It's all going to be the same. Nothing's going to be any different than what. Anyway, it's been a long time since I watched this one, though. You guys, I would imagine, probably the same for like early HMP stuff like that. It's probably the last time you watched it, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine any reason why I would have wanted to.
You don't just pop this in on a Thursday?
No. I mean, I have a lot of baggage with this coming into it, but I hadn't seen it. I kind of forgot that we watched it for the old Incarnation Volume 1 of the show. Didn't really remember. In fact, I'm watching it thinking that this might have been the first time I've watched it, which I guess it isn't if we've covered it before, which hard for me to think some of the stuff we did cover, we wouldn't have covered this. But
no, we absolutely did. But it's been that long to where it's just like it's come and gone from the memory. You're just like it's been completely wiped at this point for me.
That's a sign of a good movie, right? When you've seen it multiple times and you can't remember anything about it, that's probably good, right?
It's good for the box office because you just keep going, did I see that? Well, let's go back again.
When you keep hoping the jeweler will show up again, you know you got to.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna show my hand here. I think the Corman Fantastic Four is better than this movie. You can watch it. You can watch it all the way through without like because you're just constantly like, huh, they went with that choice, huh? Like over and over again with that first movie we saw last week. This one here is like it's the regular vanilla ice cream of superhero movies, where it's not incompetent. The people who made this movie know how to make a movie. It's just I'm not certain they know how to make a good one.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm coming at. This film fell victim to a whole lot of baggage with me. I think I went in, even when we saw it before, like not watching the movie to judge it, but to find things to make fun of.
Yeah.
I criticize it for not giving me what I want instead of just saying, hey, this is what the movie gave us and being open-minded. I have a lot of Galactus baggage. Galactus, a pretty significant comic book character, and with my background, that was important to me. I've got a lot of Jessica Alba baggage that maybe we'll talk about, and I don't know why. I just have negative feelings, like I don't expect much out of her, and she doesn't do anything to change my mind. But I brought some Jessica Alba baggage into it.
He's like, I brought some Jessica Alba hate with me. I brought some hate with me, and Chris Evans is on the list too.
And I have persistent memories of Dr. Doom never being done right. So before Dr. Doom is even on screen, I'm got my arms crossed and I'm just waiting to complain about this Dr. Doom. So I brought that kind of baggage in when we watched it before, started out with some of that, but I managed to be a little bit more open-minded and
good for you.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that I have not a bad time when I watched it. I might, if this were the days when we still like did our housework and just turned our TV on to TNT and whatever was playing, I wouldn't turn it away, and I'd probably catch myself folding laundry more slowly as I watched what was going on.
Yeah, if we lived in that world, this would definitely be something you'd keep on in the background while you did laundry or some crap like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we don't live in that time.
But what if you don't have laundry to do while you're watching it? What are you doing then?
Oh boy.
Well,
somebody's got to dirty up some clothes because I want to see how this ends.
Well, you're writing a thank you note to Tim Story for only making this movie 90 minutes long. That's
man, that was such a I never used this word. It was such a hashtag blessing when I saw what the runtime for the sucker was. It was like, oh, thank you so much, Tim Story. And to get to Tim Story for a second, we had this conversation last week. I think Portress and I had this conversation where we were trying to figure out what Tim Story's most significant movie was. And I believe, Portress, you said that it was the first Fantastic Four movie he did, right? The one that came before this?
Yeah, I think that was probably like his biggest success, I think. I mean, save for your, like you said later, the barbershop movies, which I didn't take into account. I was like, oh yeah, those all made a good penny.
The barbershop movies did make money, but they weren't as successful as the first Fantastic Four movie. No, the first Fantastic Four movie kind of like came out of nowhere and shocked the world with how well it did. Mm-hmm. And when you watch that movie, you'll think like I do, how? But but it was a big surprise. And it kind of is one of those things too, where it's that rare instance where what you have in your head of what these Fantastic Four movies are is exactly what happens. You could watch the trailer for this movie and you know how this movie is going to end up. That doesn't happen a lot. It happens sometimes. And I'm not talking about like with nerdy nerds like the three of us. I mean like my parents could see the trailer for that movie and I could have said to them, what do you think happens in this movie? And they would have nailed it.
Dad would have leaned over and been like, that Galactus is going to be bullshit.
Why is he wearing culottes?
I don't think any of that's going to be good. We'll get into all this though, but do us a favor, man. Why don't you like and subscribe to this show on YouTube and Twitch and Kick and all those places, because we are out and doing this show live on Sundays. Come on out, join us in the chat room. We really appreciate it. Be a big old giant dirty baby there, and like, subscribe, and all of those things, and drop a super chat, aka a Portress Bucks. Wait, let me get my little I got to hit all the right buttons here. We'll get to the new one in just a second. That one did not go nearly as loud as I would have thought that it would. Thanks, Guy. You really got me on that one. Anyways, we'll do it. We'll read it here in a second because we got some mail. Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question? I'm sorry I'm doing this on the live show.
It's okay.
Maybe it's because I'm an old. What is Kick? And is anyone actually watching us on Kick?
I had
for
some.
asking the question that I've wanted to ask for like 4 weeks now,
Okay.
and I didn't want to expose my ignorance.
All right, so we all know what. I would imagine everyone here knows what Twitch is. Yes.
Of course, yes. Even though I'm an old, I know what Twitch is. Yes.
Very good. This is pretty much a competitor to Twitch that has basically there's a whole lot of money and stuff behind it, and they're not running ads and stuff on their program and everything.
Oh.
They're just doing really good, and a lot of creators are, because there's not a whole bunch of people out there doing it. A whole lot of creators that are doing really well are making a buttload of money on Kick. So I was just like, hey man,
Nice.
throw your poll into all the ponds that you possibly can. So I mean,
Sure.
we did have a Kick guy in the chat the other night who did a little Derby baby GIF and put it into the chat and everything. There's the short on our YouTube page and my TikTok. If you
That's
want to go
awesome. If it's okay with you guys, so we can really just kind of embrace Kick, I'd like you guys to start calling me Kicky.
All right, Kicky, let's grow. But yeah, you can do that. But we need to do this though, because it's been a second. Let me make sure I hit the right button.
Bale's here.
All right, we got ourselves a little bit of a letter here from our good buddy King Solomon's Frog.
Nice.
King Solomon's Frog. Let me make sure I get the thing up there. There we go. Thanks for the fantastic 4-month, and especially to Sweet Shanzi for suggesting it. I'm such a big fan of HMP Volume 1. This topic has given me the impetus to rewatch and re-listen to all of the Fantastic Four movies and reviews. I know that you're not going to cover the Fantastic Four 2005, and I know it was because Sean said the Silver Surfer connection, but us original Dirty Babies, TM, know the real reason. Because in Fantastic Four 2005, cast in the role of sexy nurse was Maria Menounos, Adam's #1 nemesis.
Nothing gets past King Solomon's Frog there. The guy's got laser focus.
Awesome.
This movie was much better than I remembered. However, Rise of the Silver Surfer is not only the better tie-in with First Steps, it's a rare sequel that is better than its first film. I don't have the original hate for these movies on this rewatch. What pulls them down most is the casting Alba and Garfield as the stars. These movies would go from better than I remembered to really pretty good if Sue and Reed were better cast. Lastly, could we get a drop of Sean saying Portress Bucks in that males here accent, followed by a cash register sound?
Oh.
I love the mailbag jingle, and I don't hear it enough. I'll send you some Portress Bucks for that. That comes from King Solomon's Frog. Now, King Solomon's Frog, I'm going to be completely honest with you, my man, is I only gave Sweet Shanzi half the info on this bad boy. And I just told him to give me a couple of options here from us, and here's what I've got for you. Let me make sure it goes and plays correctly.
Portress Bucks.
And I put a little reverb on the end and everything too to make it real nice.
Portress Bucks.
So anytime we have a super chat in there, that's what we're gonna lay down for you.
Thank you. My nasally New England accent doesn't allow my voice to go super low, so thank you.
So we'll be doing all of that stuff. So thanks to Mike and Trillian for hanging out in the chat, everybody. And if you'd like to send us an email, why don't you do that over at halfassmoviepod@gmail.com. It's right there on the screen. I should have read it right there.
You don't read.
I was about to say, have you ever known me to really read, though? Let's be honest with ourselves. Well, who are we fooling, gang?
Look, it's easier if someone just says it to me phonetically.
Is someone doing semaphore? Can I have some of that, maybe? Write it out as phonetic as you possibly can. So if you'd like to hear that jaunty jingle there, super chat that on YouTube, and we'll read it, share your thoughts with the world, make Bronson's day. He needs to eat, man. Look at him. Look at him. You go, he's sneezing.
He's barely surviving, that dog.
He's just trying to live, man. Super chat some way for Brunson. He wants it. And again, giant thanks to everybody for all the it's been a big week on YouTube, man. Between the shorts and all the other kind of stuff, the big live stream talking about James Gunn Superman, and we'll be doing a live stream of our Dinger Zone after this episode. So stick around here, and then we're going to be talking about, he wants in on the action now.
Yeah, he's the star of the show. He literally should get his own microphone, that guy.
If you're not watching the live streams, do it for Bronson. # do it for Bronson.
Oh, I love it.
You got to put that away.
Look at that! Look at that dog staring you down. Great, great, great.
So we did a whole bunch of things, man. We had a movie magic marathon on Friday night. We talked the Superman thing. I had a Jurassic World Rebirth video up there. I got my first impressions for the SBS 5000 subwoofer coming this week. So tons of stuff happening over on YouTube. If you are not there, you are missing out, my man. So get on over there. We really appreciate that. Leave us a review, all those things. You get it. Patreon.com/HMP. Pre-show, post-show, Dinger Zone. And I said Dinger Zone, we're doing the after show here today. We're going to continue it right on this live stream. So stick around here for our thoughts on James Gunn's Superman. I know a lot of you was thinking about it. A lot of viewers asking. Even some people ask, were like, hey, man, I can't afford to be on the Patreon anymore, but I really, really want to hear you guys talk about James Gunn's Superman.
I saw that comment.
Please put it on the YouTube. And I was like, yeah, we can definitely do that because it is big enough of a deal. And I'm not going to lie to you, boys and girls. It's getting views. This crap's getting views on stuff. So I'm more than happy to oblige with all of that. Well, boys, let's get into it. Here is the IMDb plot line for Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. The Fantastic Four learned that they aren't the only superpowered beings in the universe when they square off against the powerful Silver Surfer and the planet-eating Galactus. This was written by Don Payne, who wrote Hope and Gloria, Victoria's Closet, Thor. That's right, the first Thor movie. You wouldn't have
The bad one?
Yeah, the bad one. And also, get this, 18 episodes of The Simpsons.
Really?
Yeah. Mark Frost, however, did 48 episodes of Hill Street Blues and 30 episodes of Twin Peaks.
What?
And John Turman, he helped write Ang Lee's Hulk, as well as a Ben 10 TV movie. And there were 2 episodes of the Canadian television series The Crow, Stairway to Heaven, as we all know. Big fans of that over here on the old HMP. Directed by Tim Story. He did the first Fantastic Four movie, of course, from 2005, and then all the barbershop movies, the ride-along movies, and tons of music videos, that guy over there. Starring Johan Griffith. That is how Conan O'Brien pronounced his name, so that's how I'm pronouncing it. Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Michael Chiklis, Kerry Washington, and the recently passed Julian McMahon, who'd been battling cancer for a couple of years and stuff like that. Sad story with that guy. But also, it's one of those nice things where, you know, somebody wasn't making a big deal about it and everything was just kind of, you know, that kind of manly man sort of thing.
That's the way to go out, buddy. If you're going to go out, do it like that.
That Bozeman did the same kind of thing. It's just like, I'm not
Pee Wee Herman.
Same. Great,
nice.
great stuff. That's going out like a man as far as I'm concerned.
Me too.
So yeah, man, it had been a minute since I'd seen this thing. I was a little bit skeptical going in, but I got to say, I think I'm exactly like you boys. This movie it's paint by numbers. It's simple. It's easy, but it's not horrid.
You know, like I said, watching this as I brought a more of a B movie approach. You know, watching this like this is a B movie. This is a superhero movie. If you just want a nice little superhero movie and you're not looking to really dive into the lore and pick it apart like you would Lord of the Rings or something.
Well, you know, Bruce, you hit it on the head at the beginning of the show where you said it's not as bad as you think it is, but it's also not good. And so like basically here, the problem with the movie is this, is that anytime there's special effects involved, when that is the main thing you're watching, the movie's just fine. You know, like that Silver Surfer Human Torch race, like the chase through the city, that's great. The stuff where like where Johnny is fighting Dr. Doom at the end of this movie, that stuff looks good. It doesn't. It's not amazing. It's not going to blow your mind, but you can believe it. Your brain is tricked enough to believe, oh, this is pretty good.
It does, and it still doesn't to this day look wildly outdated. 2007, we're almost 20 years away from it, and it doesn't look like, oh gosh, man, look at all the seams and stuff. It just looks okay.
It's not like looking at the first Jabba.
No,
no. That first Jabba from Phantom Menace. It's far better than that. The problem with this movie is anytime you run into the 80s hacky sitcom jokes, because you know they're coming. You see them coming from a mile away. They're all terrible. None of them are surprising. There's not a single moment in this film where you're watching characters react to each other where you're surprised at someone's reaction.
or that you feel that genuine emotion is happening either.
Well, there's that too, because I mean, this movie is so paint by numbers, and all of those things, like even Kerry Washington, who is a very great melodramatic actress. That's the best way I can put it to you. If you want to see an angry African American lady crying, you hire Kerry Washington, because no one does it better than that beautiful lady.
So
however, they don't let her go. They don't let her cook in this movie. They don't let any of the actual actors, like the people who can actually act in this movie, do much acting. And it's funny because when you see somebody like Chris Evans in this, and I didn't see it at the time, this is just through hindsight that I saw this. Chris Evans is the only one who's able to make the material work for what this material is. There's not a single other actor in this film, with the exception of maybe like your Andre Braugher or someone like that. There's no one else in this movie of your main characters who is actually making the dialogue work. He's the only one. And maybe that's just through me going, that's Captain America. He's going to be Captain America later, because I'm a nerd. But it's really interesting, and it's really kind of off-putting, to be honest with you, that you're like, oh, the hothead, the guy that you're supposed to kind of sort of hate but love him anyway, is the best actor in this damn movie. It's crazy.
It really
it's off-putting that someone tried their best.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
that's
I
not
know,
what I'm
I know
saying.
It's not what you're saying, but it's funny that it can be heard that way, because you're right. It's like, it's how dare, I mean, this is what I'm feeling, and I know it's an irrational feeling, but it's still how you feel. It's like, how dare you expose how bad your co-stars are? I mean, that's almost the feeling there.
It's like he's just running circles around everybody going, I'm going to get a paycheck today.
But when you're watching somebody like Michael Chiklis, who is a very good actor, I've seen him be great in many, many different things. And the voice he has chosen to be Ben Grimm in this movie is so bad that it makes what Christian Bale is doing as Batman look really, really like laid back. It's kind of incredible.
Tell me if I'm way off base here, but in my mind, I thought that the Thing's voice sounded like it should have been the fat gummy bear. Like, if you ever watched Gummy Bears, like if you had a fat gummy bear, that's it.
Yes, like it's almost like he can't do an impression of Al Pacino. It's kind of what he's doing.
And they put there's no other way to call it, but the rock filter on his voice, so that that accentuates it, and kind of like it makes it worse, really.
If I can dovetail, because
Please.
Don't get me wrong, again, this movie is not bad enough to enjoy it as a bad movie. This movie isn't good enough that you will love this movie later and it's a secret gem. It is vanilla ice cream. It isn't even French vanilla. It's just vanilla ice cream.
There's no little beans in here. This is no good.
If I may elaborate a little bit on what you said there, Sean, I think that you hit on it when you said this movie is better than you remembered. So the ideal audience for this movie today is someone who saw it 15 years ago and did not like it.
Right.
You are the ideal audience to watch this.
Well, I didn't enjoy myself watching it, so I don't know how I'm the ideal audience. But like, let me put it to you like this. Let me ask you guys a question that's going to feel like it's kind of a jokey joke, but it's a real question. What is worse? Michael Chiklis's voice as the Thing, or Jessica Alba, just period, in this movie?
Oh,
what's worse?
There are very few questions that can start with what is worse and end with Jessica Alba that I probably won't answer Jessica Alba.
I would say here's my biggest problem with Jessica Alba in this movie, that like, I think if you fix this, I don't want to say it fixes everything, but like it alleviates a lot of things, and it's the contacts.
Yeah.
If it was just her brown eyes, even if you kept the blonde wig and all the other jazz, that's A-okay. Because I don't think her acting is atrocious in this.
Sir.
Hold on. It's not good. It's just like for what she was doing, certainly around this time and everything, it's good enough.
You're grading on a curve, on Jessica Alba curve. I see.
Yeah, there's an Alba curve involved in this. Oh
my God, did we just come up with a new term? We did. The Alba curve. Oh my Lord. Sirs, you know how much I love terms. I
So-
love terminology. So I'm writing it down. I will write it down.
All the
Alba
way
curve.
back to
Usually
Dark
great
Angel,
things
man.
on the Alba curve. I mean, that's it. I love it. Perfect. I think
It's
that,
so good.
Dark. See, I remember her from Dark Angel, that show on Fox and everything, because James Cameron found this girl and said, "This is the hottest girl in the world. What we're going to do is we're going to develop a television show around this girl." They did. She wasn't great in the show, but like it really, what you were turning in to watch just the hottest lady in the world every single
It's
week.
true. But
was
you know,
so good.
there's a certain point when it comes to like attractiveness where it's like, so what?
And they had,
Yes,
and there was
I
enough of an idea
understand.
around everything else. Yeah.
I understand that you're a very beautiful woman. So what? Why are you taking a very good actor's job by just being pretty and being cardboard in a movie? And in Portress, I'm going to do the thing you hate the most. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire.
All right.
What's worse? Is it Chiklis's voice or is it Jessica Alba? Because you haven't answered.
It's Jessica Alba. Yeah. She's
Okay.
worse. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Chickless voice, it's like, it's annoying, but I can get over that. That's not that bad.
I could almost find a charm in it. And I
You
get
know-
charmed
You know
by
what bugs me more is the teeth.
You know what's so weird?
Bother me more.
Portress. I completely look. I freely admit you've got better wigdar than me, but I think that it's Jessica Alba's actual hair in the first Fantastic Four movie. This is all wig all the time,
It's
and
a
it
wig
looks
for sure. It's been too long for me to remember the first one.
and it looks bad. Like it's not a great wig. Why
No.
isn't that wig better? Why isn't it a Saturday Night Live wig?
She like they don't want to go to work this long. It takes too long to do all this crap. She's like, listen, man, if I got to put in these eyeballs, I'll be damned that you ain't wasting 4 hours every morning on a wig for me. No.
Mhm.
I know where we stand now, but 18 years ago, was it important that Sue had blonde hair?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
They had no
To
choice.
some dum-dums. I don't know
Yes.
why. It was just, and honestly, again, I could take the blonde hair. If you want to tell me this lady dyed her hair blonde, okay. It's the blue eyes that make her look like she's a member of White Chicks. It's no good.
I never even noticed the eyes. What
What are you talking about? She looks like
Never
powder.
noticed the eyes. I like
She
powder.
She looks like the Children of the Corn. Is what she looks like.
I'm thinking like, what was the Village of the Damned?
That's what it is. Village of the
that's-
Damned. That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, it's
I
bad.
I was kind of surprised because I did not realize that this was a thing. So you guys already knew going in that Jessica Alba was a bad actress. To me, she was nothing before. Like oh, she's the girl. She's the really pretty girl that's in Sin City. Like that's how I knew her. I never watched Dark Angel. I was too old to be watching that show. As I said before, I'm a senior citizen. But like when it comes to like Jessica Alba is just she's just not in my purview. So when I'm watching it this weekend, over the weekend, I was like, wow, she's really not good, like at all. And then once Chris Evans starts being like capital J Johnny in this movie, it's like, oh no, Jessica Alba, you have been exposed, madam.
The reason she works so well in Sin City is I think she might have said 10 words in both
Right.
movies, you know?
Right.
But
Right.
you put some great lighting on her, have her bending over in cowboy boots and stuff, and she sells
I'm
that
listening.
character.
Keep going.
Exactly, you know?
Mhm.
Well, then they broke it all by having her wear a top. I hate to say it, but like it's like
You're not wrong.
It's more distracting as somebody who's read the book, and it was just like the character was topless the entire time, every frame of that book.
I'm going to say though that movie was not successful just because people who like the book.
That's true.
I had
It's
no
true.
problem with her keeping the top on because it lets more people get tickets to the movie. I mean, it's just that.
It was rated R. There wouldn't change nothing.
Yeah, I guess you're right there.
Yeah, it's
But,
like.
but I respect the actors' boundaries. You know,
And
what
if
I
they were
mean?
putting that on TNT, they just put a digital bra on her later, so she wouldn't even have to worry about that on network television. You know what I'm saying?
For
No
the
big
Sin
deal.
City purposes, the only time I may ever say this is I prefer Jessica Alba with the top on than if they didn't have Jessica Alba and it was somebody topless. That's the only situation in Sin City.
Let's talk
maybe
about
not the
Chris
only.
Evans for a hot second, because you're right, Sean. He feels like the guy. I feel like Chris Evans read a Fantastic Four comic and knows exactly who Johnny is.
Yeah.
Like within that first movie and then this movie for sure, he's got a handle on who Johnny Storm is and is playing it perfectly.
If you want to know how much Chris Evans overshadows all the other actors in this movie, let's take Jessica Alba out of this for a second. Let's go with the bachelor party scene where he's going to the party, right? He's at the dance club. What Chris Evans is doing in that scene is so terrific versus what the actor whose name is what's his name? Johan. What Johan is doing as Reed in that scene, because throw the stupid jokes about him, like twirling two girls around, like throw all that out. Look at the acting.
Yeah.
And see just how much Chris Evans is killing that scene. It's like, well, no kidding. That's why Chris Evans is a gigantic movie star and no one else from this movie is.
He's keeping the scene afloat, to be quite frank. If there was somebody that was worse in it, but you'd start noticing how shoddy the set is. You'd start noticing how few people are in this busy club. You would start noticing those things. But because Chris Evans is magnetic enough to, you're looking at what he's doing with this, and we throw in some special effects every once in a while, you don't realize how, kind of desolate all this place is, really.
Yeah.
And I don't know who to give the credit to, but I do want to credit somebody behind the creation of this movie I feel like somebody recognized what they had with Chris Evans, and this movie really does give him a chance to feature. I mean, yes, he's got that raw talent, but they also gave him some scenes where he could really do it right. And, they really kind of make him the centerpiece of the Fantastic Four here. He's the one with the switcheroo power. He's the outsider. He's the one who has the biggest arc and has to take all the powers and join them together to save the day at the end.
And do you think that kind of also came about because everybody was just like, well, gosh, we really like Johnny in that first movie?
There's probably some of that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that whatever the reason is, it's more like an ends justifies the means. I'm still going to give him credit for featuring him.
No,
having the ability to listen to people, if that's what it was.
And it seems to be the one character that they have nailed down in this movie, right? Like the way that they are characterizing, like Reed. Reed is somebody who I don't even know if they had this term at the time, but basically that character in this movie is someone who doesn't have a life-work balance, right?
Yes.
But that's basically his only flaw as a character in this movie is like, oh, he's a workaholic, that fella. Yeah. And then and that's not that is not an interesting character.
It's the only potential he has for an arc in this movie. I mean, just for the reasons you pointed out, it's the only potential he has for an arc. So at least they set it up early on that he could have an arc, but no, they do a wedding. They book in this with weddings. And he doesn't change one bit. He's still answering. Come on, man. It's your wedding. You know how to turn your phone completely.
I don't know. Like, honestly, I didn't mind that kind of conceit of the idea of everything because it felt very. It just felt very comic booky to me, where it's like we start with the wedding that, of course, gets interrupted by this giant adventure and everything, and you're wrapping it up yet again. But we're also showing that, hey, the Fantastic Four never sleep. This is kind of our thing. We always go to this. We're never going to be that normal, sane family that everybody else is. We're always going to kind of continue to be this sort of thing. So, like, as far as that goes and kind of tropiness of it, I don't mind that.
I hate it. And not only do I hate it because it's the thing where it's like, see, rich people are just like the rest of us. See, there is no way in God's green earth that those very, very wealthy elite people aren't complete. You can't contact them for a month from like the week before the wedding till 3 weeks after the wedding. You will never be able to contact these people. But because they're just like us, see, he's a workaholic. He's even working during his wedding.
Here's where the just like us falls apart. Because, guys, we've been in a lot of weddings. And I don't mean as groomsmen. I mean, we've been grooms.
I've been in one.
Yeah, I've only been in the one.
Oh, well, I've been in a couple. But anyway, there is no way your phone is going to make any noise during the ceremony. There's just no way. Like
it was out of the
is
picture,
off.
gone. Yeah.
And you're probably going to hear some dumbass college friend groomsman make a little chirp in his tux inner pocket.
Of course,
stupid. But even he's not going to answer it. He's just going to like get that red face where he hopes
sorry
notices it's him.
Yeah, you're right. You know what it reminds me of? That scene reminds me of. It reminds me of. I don't know if you guys ever listened to this, but Howard Stern was talking about how when they were making the movie Private Parts, he wanted it to be more realistic and more like his life, because all of these comedic writers kept writing it where it was like just the hackiest, like stuff that you would see on, like Gimme a Break or Mama's Family or whatever. Like it's just the hackiest. Well, whatever. But like, I defy you to watch an hour of Gimme a Break and tell me how great that show is.
Gimme a Break has been a minute. Mama's Family, however, I'll definitely be watching Mama's Family.
Okay, all right. I forget. You need to know your audience. That's on me. That's my bad. That's my bad. But the problem is this, is that when these comedic writers are trying to write a scene for Howard Stern, it always starts off in the same place, where it's always like there's a party and Richard Simmons is supposed to be watching his kids, but the kids get completely out of control. And then Howard Stern opens the front door and Richard Simmons comes up and slaps him in the face and says, "Never again," and walks out. And he's like, that is not anything what my life is like. I don't want anything like that. And so whenever I see something like this wedding scene, something that's so unrealistic, and I know that sounds so stupid. There's a movie where there's a guy riding a silver surfboard. But you need to draw a line somewhere, man. And there is no line drawn in this movie. It's like, listen, every bad idea needs to be up on that screen.
I think he's just against rooftop weddings, Bruce.
I am at that too. If you were a very famous person, why are you on the roof of a major metropolitan city where some jackass in a helicopter can do a flyby? It's stupid.
I mean, you're not just a famous person; you're a person whose enemies are supervillains.
Yes,
it's all the
yes, or outside,
a bunker under the ground, or how about
thank you,
something small and tasteful with like 6 people,
right? Where they shot Star Wars, like some place like out in Tunisia somewhere where no one can find you.
No,
ridiculous
idea. I like the idea of just go to the old Tatooine set in Tunisia. That would have been perfect wedding.
Well,
Stan Lee shows up at the wedding as himself, as a member of the party. I was, that's one of your early ones right there.
Oh,
and
man.
they name check him too, which I don't remember him being name checked a whole bunch.
Not often. There's maybe 1 or 2, but it's usually just like something else.
Mm-hmm.
For Marvel movies, I think this is it. Of course, he's name checked in Mallrats. I don't know if that's a little bit more than a cameo.
That's a starring cameo, a featured cameo. That's what it is.
And then he's name checked in the Teen Titans Go movie, or Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
Outside of that, just regular old. He's just
he's good for much, but I've got like name checking Stan Lee off the top of the dome. I don't know why. I can't remember Macaulay Culkin's name, but I know the 3 times Stan Lee was named.
I do still like the idea that Stan Lee's kind of the one of the Watchers or something that's kind of over all the. That's why he's been in all the things or whatever, or whatever the deal was for his last one there.
Not to segue this too much, but one of the thoughts I had when we do see the Stan Lee cameo is like, that used to be a not insignificant part of my excitement when I would go to a Marvel movie. It's like, I wonder how they're going to slide Stan into this one. And with that no longer being an option, how big is that void going forward?
I think it's pretty big, man. I mean, think about it.
I'm glad you agree with me. It is big to me.
Think about all of these terrible Marvel movies that have come out in the last couple of years. At least, like when Stan was in it, it was like, man, I am not enjoying this. But Stan's going to show up at some
You'd
point,
have
and
a
that's going to
little
be
like,
okay.
ooh.
Yeah, there's none of that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but I think that Captain America: New World Order or whatever it's called, they could have totally used a Stan Lee cameo at some
still haven't
point.
seen that one.
Hello, everybody. Have you been sleeping through about 3/4 of this thing? Let me brighten up your day just a little bit. How you doing? How you doing? All right. We'll see you in the after credits.
Talk
everyone.
about by the numbers.
I tell you what, a Black Captain America. Oh, I win at the right time.
I think what's the guy's name? Axel Rod ought to start being the new cameo guy.
Let's talk about old Silver Surfer here, man. This is kind of our first Silver Surfer on screen. I remember looking at him back in the day going, this looks really awesome. I think for the most part, that still, for the most part, holds up. It still it falls apart in the face a little bit for me.
Totally serviceable. Like that's the best way I can describe it. It's you're never going to look at that thing. It's not like seeing the special effects in the remake of The Thing that came out around the same time as this, where you're like, yikes, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's pretty good. And I especially like the moment where he doesn't have the silver on him when he's a prisoner, and they still make him look otherworldly. It's a pretty cool trick.
I was going to ask a little bit about that specifically. First off, I just want to follow up on a couple things and say, yeah, the CG on the Surfer when he's in full mode scores high on the Alba curve, if we're going to grade it that way.
Oh, baby.
And then I had thoughts about when he is depowered, they catch him in this ultimate nullifier that's built by the collaborative work, I guess, of Reed and Victor is what we're supposed to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's depowered, I wondered if it would have been a nice touch if he actually became an organic being and they let Lawrence Fishburne be Norrin Rad.
Oh, I think it's way cooler the way they did it, though, man. And
it's like when Harley's quit going chrome and they started putting like the flat matte black is what they call it on things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kind of cool look.
It's one of those one of those tricks that they do where that he doesn't have magical celestial power anymore, and it's just by making him matte black instead of silver. It's a really good trick. I of all of the things that recommend this movie, I think that might be one of the best ones.
And it still lends us to the world of him actually being an alien and stuff like that. And like as interesting as Bruce says, as you said there, if he turned to like Lawrence Fishburne or something, it would still kind of make him a human, which like kind of takes away from all of it. With this, he's a humanoid alien, and you really kind of just get to see like, oh, if he's stripped away from all of this stuff, this is what this bare ass alien looks like. It's kind of weird and funky and stuff. And again, we'll mention because we haven't said his name yet, but Doug Jones in the actual as the Silver Surfer, not the voice of the Silver Surfer, of course.
My interpretation of it is that's what Norrin Rad looked like before he became the Silver Surfer. Maybe that's part of why he looks the way he does as the Silver Surfer, is because he looks so much like that beforehand.
Yeah, he's just like a chromey version of this. We just dipped him in. All right, he good to go. Mm-hmm. I thought it looked really good. Now I will say this because I remember back in the day when they were like, "Hey, the Lawrence Fishburne's coming in. He's going to be doing the voice of the Silver Surfer." I think everybody was like, "Oh snap, Morpheus is coming in doing the voice of the Surfer. This is going to be sweet." And I remember liking it. This time I don't think I like it a whole lot. It's kind of bad. Yeah, it feels like he just did it in a real quick afternoon here and everything, and just didn't put much of anything in it. And I know if that's maybe like the vibe that you're going for, is that Norrin Rad is just kind of like but I don't see that. I don't think that.
I don't mean to jump the gun here, but who would have been a great voice for the Silver Surfer is Andre Braugher. Would have killed that.
I had a recommendation for him to have done the voice of Dr. Doom or Ving Rhames. Like, I don't want to say anything negative about Julian McMahon. He's a solid actor. I think that he does a fine job in his performance. But once the mask is on and it's Doom, he really needs to enter a room, like quite literally and for obvious reasons, like Darth Vader would. And still having Julian McMahon's voice, he did not intimidate me the way he needs.
It's too soft.
the guy that does We Got the Meats. That's Ving Rhames, right? For Arby's.
Yes.
That's the voice I need out of there.
I am not going to besmirch Julian McMahon. He did the best he could with what he had in this movie. The biggest problem is he is shoehorned into this movie. You do not need this to be Doctor Doom at all. It could be anyone, and it's going to have the same effect. It isn't made bigger, badder, better because you have Doctor Doom on the Silver Surfboard. That is not. It isn't written that way. It's not written where like, oh boy, you thought it was bad. Like it could be a random criminal. You could have had somebody along the lines of like a Cletus Cassidy hop on that surfboard and have the same exact effect as you would as Dr. Doom hopping on that board. And that is a problem with the writing and the filmmaking, not the actor.
Or if he was just fighting the surfer the entire time, and like it's almost as if we have an extra B story that does need to be in there, and that's what it is they wanted Doctor Doom to be back because he's kind of he's the Fantastic Four arch nemesis and all that kind of stuff. So and you can bring him back, and of course, like I said, we have to bring him back and be able to make him not have to wear the mask and stuff right now because Julian does not want to do that. I would imagine you don't want to show up and be like, well, I want to be in this mask the whole time. No, thank you. I mean, Pedro Pascal was just like, hey, listen, I'll do the voice, like Clint Eastwood's kid or John Wayne's kid, or whoever the fuck it is.
John Wayne's grandson. Yeah. Yes.
They're like, let them do that. That'll be fine. I'll just go do this voice and stuff like that. So it's not quite the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But just to agree with you there, Sean, I even put in my notes that it's creative decisions, not McMahon, that I blame for that. But I think that when Doom is in the room, man, everybody's either looking for an exit or getting down on their knees, kind of thing.
His Victor's really good, though, isn't it? I really like him as Victor and his
his Victor would be okay if everybody didn't already know that he was Doctor Doom. Like that would have worked just fine. The problem is he tried to take over the world about 5 years ago, according to this movie. And everybody in the room, the American army, the American military is literally like, oh, this should be fine. We'll let him make some big decisions for us.
Well, it's also kind of a trope, it's like there's a threat so big that we have to work with our enemies, especially a comic book trope.
But I mean, look at a movie that's just around the same time, X2. X2 does this idea incredibly well. And this movie, it's like, oh, you know what might be neat?
Yeah.
That's all they got.
Yeah. You get it to the point, and that's about it. And like they've only got kind of the most base idea of what all of these people and their wants and needs and stuff are anyways. I mean, for example, like just as another example, when we bring into just how they don't know exactly what to do with this, the portrayal of Galactus, which I think everybody was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing?
Yeah,
because Galactus is so awesome that you're just like, this has got to be cool. Well, when we heard that was going to be a thing, it was like, and we all wanted to think they were wrong when they were like, hey, it's a cloud of dust, and we are like, no, that's just they're trying to get us off the scent. And no, sure enough, it was.
It's funny because it's around the time of the other universe, that pocket,
the
ultimate universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Galactus is in that universe, right? And so I can remember I didn't read that storyline, but I can remember people being like, see, this is more realistic because it would be something like a big bunch of swarming bees. It wouldn't be just a giant dude wearing purple. That wouldn't be it. And it's like you're missing the point of this character.
Yeah, it's like it's cool though. That's also part. It like again, there's another level of iconography that was cemented within Marvel Comics in the 60s and stuff like that.
Right.
And it sounds a little nutty, but it's just like it's like taking away Ronald McDonald or Santa Claus. It's like it's not the same thing, dude. You can't just start going and putting new riffs on stuff. It's not how it works. Not all the time, at least.
I think the biggest failure of this movie was a failure to treat Galactus properly, to emphasize him properly. I mean, the title of this movie should have been The Coming of Galactus or something along those lines. And then you let the Silver Surfer sneak up on you. That's how you build a franchise. You don't put him front and center in the middle of the poster and give him the subtitle of the film, because then you don't need a spinoff because this becomes his film. And I think that I would have liked it better if they gave me something. Galactus doesn't have to be absolutely a reproduction of Jack Kirby's guy,
Right.
but you need to give me something that I can kind of see as the threat rather than the Silver Surfer. And he kind of let him sneak up on me, let his decision to actually help the Fantastic Four after speaking to Sue, which is really true to the comics. Let that kind of catch us off guard and let us really say, man, we should have been watching him the whole time instead of the other guy. But no, they say, keep your eyes on this guy, so you're not going to get dazzled by any surprises or twists with him.
Make it Shaquille O'Neal. Am I right, guys? You make Galactus Shaquille O'Neal. You have him make the face to the camera at one point. It's going to be great. Exactly.
Well, I mean, 2007 wasn't Yao Ming like the flavor, like the really popular big guy then?
Look, I Yao Ming, absolutely, especially because they want that Chinese audience. They want that China. I mean, the last scene in this movie takes place in China because they're like, "Come on, China, give us that audience."
Let me get some Beijing dollars, please.
So yeah, you could totally give Yao Ming the role, but you give him Shaq's voice.
Oh, I was going to say make Shaq Galactus and then let Yao Ming be the surfer.
Why would you have a big gangly Chinese guy on that little surfboard? That doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that guy can surf.
Jackie Chan.
Charlie don't surf.
We scaled the surfboard in the size with him. Come on. What are you talking about?
Okay. Yep, you're right. You're right.
And it's already a big enough surfboard from the surfer anyway. We always discount how huge that board is.
Look, we're all three of us tonight are really firing on all cylinders. We've all got great ideas tonight.
And so does Trillian in the chat that says Shellactus.
Come on. That's it.
Good stuff.
Guys, let's wrap it up here. We're not gonna beat that.
We're not beating Shellactus.
So says Kiki.
He just keeps the steel costume and puts earpieces on it.
Oh my goodness,
man!
Listen, we are this close to Fantastic Four first steps and stuff with Galactus being in it. We're not in a land of impossibilities for him to show up to some AMC wearing a big giant helmet.
Oh.
Just
a
saying.
man can dream. Man can dream. And you know he's gonna try to like shoehorn some like Steel reference in there, which is gonna make it awful and like the worst idea ever. However, because he's just so lovable, people will be like, but it's Shaquille O'Neal, man.
Not a good movie, but it's okay.
Let him make his references. It's Shaquille O'Neal. We love him.
I couldn't imagine the bizarre existence that you'd have to have by being like a huge Superman fan and also having been Steel.
Oh man.
So does Galactus just get beat by the Silver Surfer walking in and handing in his resignation? Is that kind of how this happens?
He just gave him
I've never
gave him his gun and his badge.
What about that?
I've never quite understood. I've always thought it sounds a little, like some red flags there, but I've never understood the Galactus Herald relationship. So maybe without a Herald, he can't function. I don't know. It's like a codependent relationship thing.
I may be remembering this wrong, but during that cool Ron Mars run of Silver Surfer, I want to say, and man, like, pull me back from the brink here, Bruce, because I could be just completely imagining this. But there were a bunch of the Heralds of Galactus who got together because basically they were going to try to take down Galactus. And it was with some of those heralds that were just terrible, like Terrax or whatever his name was. Like all of those guys were getting together because they wanted to like absorb his power or whatever. And it felt like that's sort of what they did with the Silver Surfer here, but it doesn't work as well.
It seems not to work very well at all because I think there's a real lack of understanding.
Right.
If you're a person who knows the comics and understands this, you're still lost. So I don't even know where you are if you're just like the guy that's like, oh man, they're all sold out for Tokyo Drift. I'm going to go over here and watch this thing. It looks cool.
They're sold out of Tokyo Drift. That's something that never happened in real life.
One for Tokyo Drift, and they just turn the sign around.
But
you say Vin Diesel and the other guy aren't in it? Sign me up.
Two, please.
Oh, little Bow Wow fans are around the corner, though.
he drive a car that looked like the Hulk.
Got Hulk hands on the hood.
Crazy.
Oh man, some guy thought he was seeing a surfing movie and came to this. But really, it's no explanation other than it's like on the level of Greek drama where you just understand your hero has made a sacrifice.
Yes,
but you
Deus
don't really
Ex
know what it is.
Machina,
Yeah.
but not really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I all of that, right? That whole scene where Earth moves after Galactus is taken away, and Earth seems to move a couple of 100 miles to the left. Nothing bad happened from that. No repercussions after that, huh?
Just be glad he didn't spin it backwards because we know how that goes down.
Oh no, this movie's an hour and a half longer.
There's somebody just trying to outrun it.
Are either of you guys surprised we didn't get like a flashback montage of Norrin Rad on his home planet and his wife and all that stuff?
They couldn't afford that.
I was glad for it, but Adam is right. I mean, you don't have look, I liked Tim's story, and we'll get to this in a second because I want to end with that probably. But like Tim's story, a fine filmmaker, a totally fine filmmaker, but he doesn't have that James Cameron gene in him of we're going to make it work with what we have, and we're going to punish our crew as much as humanly possible in order to get my vision on screen. Like he doesn't have that speed to him. So you're not going to be able to have like what you see in the first Terminator movie that they made for $11 in a sandwich, like he is incapable of doing that. And I think, as much as you want, your brain wants to see what Norrin Rad's world looks like, I don't know if you want to see what Norrin Rad's world looked like in this movie.
I kind of want it to be like something I don't have to watch, but a bonus feature on a DVD or a Blu-ray.
The closest thing that I could think they would try to make it look like is where they found the Oompa Loompas in Tim Burton's Willy Wonka. It looked something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That little area where it's just like, look, it's like Avatar light, but not good.
Yeah.
I'm
bad Avatar.
I'm picturing a room that just happens to be black curtains all the way around while they have a conversation.
Black spike around everything. It's like, that's what it is.
It's not the Fantastic Four movie from last week. I mean, geez, that's what it would be.
Just floating in limbo. It's just like, here we are on our planet.
So I want to say this about Tim's story is that I read an article with Tim's story about it's like 10 years after Rise of the Silver Surfer. And the thing that a lot of people, and I didn't really understand, when I say a lot of people, I mean me, I did not understand that Rise of the Silver Surfer basically killed this movie franchise, which I did not know at the time. I thought that this was successful enough. It's a shitty movie, but at that time, Transformer, everyone's going to see all the Transformers movies, which all suck. Like I really was, don't you dare, Portrait. So like, it killed this movie franchise for a while, right? It's how Marvel got it back. It's one of the reasons how they got it back was
you keep screwing it up.
You keep making bad movies, so we're going to buy this from you. So like there's that aspect to this. But when Tim Story is being interviewed, the interviewer, and I can't remember which magazine it's for, it might be Variety, it might not be. The interviewer is basically setting him up for the kill. And he doesn't take the bait, and good for Tim's Story, because basically they're like, why did you think that this movie was such a failure? And instead of him saying it's the studio's fault, it's the writer's fault, it's the actor's fault, which he would have been totally right to say.
Yeah.
He instead said, in my mind, it wasn't a failure. In my mind, we did the best job we possibly can. And I watched this movie and I still like it. And I like what we did in this movie. And for that, Tim's Story needs to be applauded, because it's one of those moments where like he was given literally every opportunity to kill everyone around him and save himself, and he didn't do it. So good for Tim's Story, man.
And he didn't bury the movie. He didn't say, look, it's my fault either. He gave a pretty honest answer. If you ask me, I think he believes that.
And I think we've kind of found it out here like this on this viewing is that the movie's not awful.
It's not awful.
It's not awful, and I could see how if like you said, if you've done what you've done with what you could, and you're proud of what you've done, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Right.
Nothing but respect for that.
Also, I would like to say that they don't ever have any lingering shots of Jessica Alba in this movie, which I was completely shocked by. I was shocked by that.
Almost. We'll say for the one thing, but that's like almost every Sue Storm thing is she going to end up having no clothes at some point because
you have to have that
whatever.
Scene.
But say for that, like we don't look at her in almost a sexual way almost at all.
It's great.
I was going to ask if they turned down the Alba exploitation in this film versus the first one because I don't remember the first one very well.
Man, Bruce, Bruce, that would be in the running, but we already got the Alba curve, man.
Yeah. She was on the bridge naked in the first movie.
Yeah,
like, that was like the big one. This one,
you got to make hot girl who's invisible girl naked at some point. You just have to. It's part of the DNA of it.
But here's the thing: if it was a hunky dude, they'd be doing the same deal.
Of course. You
don't think John Cena would be showing his cheeks around?
Of
for no
course,
damn reason?
and you'd be stupid for not doing it.
Yeah, why not?
Get Dennis Farina in here if you want to see some cheeks.
Hey, he's doing it when you're not even asking him.
Please put your pants back on, Dennis.
I just thought you might want it. All right, let's all come down to this. Well, actually, we're not going to recast this because there's too many people.
Yeah.
First, recast Jessica Alba, please.
Yes. Okay.
Melissa
okay.
Joan
Who
Hart,
would you cast for Jessica Alba?
I don't know. If she's got to be blonde, let's go with somebody we know can pull it off and doesn't have to wear a wig. Melissa Joan Hart.
Wow! Oh, wow! Wow! Clarissa.
Performance.
Clarissa
she explains it all, man. She explains.
Wow.
She probably would have been 30 at this point. Maybe.
No way, man. No. She's in her 20s at this point because the only reason why I'm an expert on this is the guy who taught me the movie business is literally like he worked on that show. It's one of his first
Sabrina
shows.
Or Clarissa?
Clarissa.
Ferguson.
Oh, okay.
So she's in her mid to late 20s by the time this movie comes out. You know what? Nope, I'm wrong. You were right, Portress. You're right.
Yeah, because she's a little older than I am, but that's
you're right.
Because I think Sabrina had rap, so she was on Sabrina all through her 20s. I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to another week of Clarissa talk.
For me, I'm casting like this. Sue Storm is Vanna White. Reed Richards is Pat Sajak.
I love it.
We keep Johnny. Johnny's the exact same. For the Thing, maybe we go with Kevin James.
Kevin James is the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying a ticket opening night.
Because we didn't mention it. The thing costume did change a little bit from the last one. They did kind of up his brow a little bit, not to my liking, not to the excess that I would prefer it to be, but it was more so than the first one. So there are pluses on that one. But it is one of those things that when you watch it, it's just like it would have even been even better if Chickless wasn't like 5'7",
right?
Because that doesn't help him. They put a little boots on him. He still ain't tall enough for everything.
Yeah.
If it was a big dude in that suit, maybe with it like a guy like the Mountain or something like that, just a big ass dude, and then you throw him in that suit. Hell yeah, do something like that. But he wouldn't be able to act. So like you're kind of screwed that way too. So CGI is really kind of the way to go, if we're honest.
I like you, Kerry Washington. Don't touch me.
Man, that is such a good looking lady. It's such a shame they ain't give her nothing to do in this movie.
And she's really great at the melodramatic stuff, and they don't let her cook at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was hoping to see her sculpting while a single tear rolled down her cheek.
Exactly.
Some of that happening, but you do just be like, yeah, listen, I understand why Ben likes her. That's a good looking lady.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? All right, let's get down to it, boys. We got to go on a star rating system here. Bruce, what are your ratings for Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer?
It's a better than I remembered. I'm going to give it 3 stars, but I don't want you to say that 3 stars means it's totally skippable. It's going to be worth watching for a few people out there, as I identified earlier.
Here's the thing. 3 stars out of 5 is in the good category. That's good. There's poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. So that's in the good category. 3 stars.
3 stars is competent and inoffensive. So there you go.
John?
I'm grading on the Alba curve. And so I'm going 2.5 stars for this. From what you just said, Mr. Portress, I don't think this movie is very good. I think that this movie, it is like it's like old people's candy, where it's in the bowl. It's like it's candy, but it's not the kind of candy you want. You know what I mean? Like the kind with strawberry that look like strawberries on the outside on the wrapper. Like, I don't want that candy, but it's candy. But how dare you call that candy? You know what I mean?
It's been there since some guy like Truman was president. It's been there for a while. It's all kind of got a sticky, tacky surface on it when you unwrap it. I ate a lot of old lady candy, but anyway.
Leave my grandma's candy alone. Some good stuff.
I get paid mostly in candy these days with the changes to health insurance.
We had a little candy bowl at my grandma's house, and it was by one of these lights that you could touch the base of it and everything, and it would like light up and go 1, 2, 3 like that, and like that was like a high priced nice item at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I always remember it's just like, oh, the candy bowl's right beside that, boop boop boop, and you just hit it. You'd accidentally touch it with the back of your hand or something, and turn on. You're like, oh crap, it out.
Our only source of entertainment back then.
Yeah, we didn't have very much money. For me, this is going to be just a solid 3 stars. It's not nearly as bad as I would have thought. I probably would have initially thought a 2 before watching this and everything, but it's not that bad. There are elements of it that aren't fantastic, but there's enough of it to just go, it's okay. Johnny's great. Ben is kind of okay for what he is, all things considered. It's like I said, I'm not in love with it. I just don't hate it. I'm not spitting on the ground in its image. That's all. Maybe we're doing that next week, but we'll see.
I want to ask a really big question here, a really important question in my mind. So far, I am 2 for 2 of these movies being better than I remembered. Mm-hmm. Is there any chance whatsoever of that happening next week? Because it can't be any worse. It cannot be worse than I remember.
The only thing that I think gives this the next week's movie a little bit of hope is that if you think of it, that Josh Trank tried to make a body horror movie and they didn't let him make that movie. Mm-hmm. So if you look at it like that, it might be one of those movies where it's like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where the first half of that movie is great. It's the second half of that movie is where it's just the worst movie you've ever seen.
The second that a monkey has a pocket comb, you're like, all right, let's quit.
It really is. Once dog shows up, you're like, I'm done with this movie. This movie stinks. But like that first half of that movie is great. And I think that there's a real possibility that will be the case with the Fantastic Four. Now you need to cut this part out, Adam, and you need to play it back next week so you can go, oh, really? And you can have that gotcha moment.
Well, I'm hoping it's better than I remembered.
Well, listen, like you said, Bruce, I don't know it could be much worse. If it's much worse than what I had originally
it was insanely bad, man. I mean, it was really bad. The worst Doctor Doom we've ever gotten is in that movie. I mean, he is bad.
And I was somebody who and we'll talk about it next week, but I was somebody who read the Ultimate Fantastic Four. And so I knew the story that they were kind of coming in with the negative zone, and I was excited. I was just like, oh, because this is a really cool, interesting take on it. I like that we're going down this route. And they did nothing that resembled anything. It was so, like I said, I thought it was so bad, but we'll find out next week and everything, everybody. So that's what we'll be doing next week. Is Josh Trank's Fantastic Four from 2015. In the meantime, Bruce, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Yeah, I'm still telling folks about Naughty Hookers, Knotty. Right now, Facebook's the only place to link up and look at stuff, but Naughty Hookers on Facebook, Knotty. Look for Bruce's slouchy beanie. I've worn it the last couple of weeks, and it's very comfortable, man. It's great if you have a lot of hair, or if you have no hair and you want people to think you have a lot of hair. It's a good way to just be comfortable and get your hair out of the way.
Yeah, he could he could have everything or nothing underneath that beanie, couldn't he?
It's true. It's
got a little bit it's an air of mystery, I would say.
It's true. It could smell like Head and Shoulders. It could it could smell like a train station. You don't know.
Come see, come
Smell
saw.
like
You never really know.
Hidden Shoulders or an actual rotting Hidden Shoulders?
What Head and Shoulders been on the side of the road for a couple weeks. Sean, what else?
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Yeah, go over to that YouTube. We got tons of stuff over there. We're going to be doing live shows. I think Tuesday, I think I'm going to call Tuesdays TikTok Trash Tuesdays, where I just kind of go through and take any of the movie TikToks that I've been doing. Those have been kind of fun to do, and they give me a little bit of extra stuff to put in shorts feeds and stuff like that. And it's been kind of fun and all those. So come and hang out on those dates, man. And just follow us on YouTube there and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification. Then you'll know when we're going live. So that is it, everybody. Join us next week when we are talking Fantastic Four from Josh Trank and 2015. For Sweet Sean's a Kovacs from the internet, Bruce Leslie, I'm Matt Portras, reminding you dirty babies to get out there and watch some movies.
Don't call me Sticky. My name is Sean.
Short bathroom break?
Yeah.
Please.
Right.
Please and thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, play that. Play that music, yes. Because it's cosmic, but it's also sexy. You're listening to Sean Slow Jams. Yeah. Come on, y'all. Yeah. Killing it now.
Another smooth jam from our
Man,
boy, Jerkin McGurkin.
You're listening to Sean's Sexy Slow Jams, where for the next 12 hours, if you're driving a car, you're going to get into an accident. Man, I love it because it's like cosmic and it's also like sexy. I love it.
Makes me want to slip into my tight short leg pants.
Oh,
Pull that belt another notch.
it's like it's kind of, I had the same thing happen to me with Superman this weekend that happened to me with the first time we saw Lone Wolf and Cub, where like the rest of the weekend was great because
I love that. I love that so much.
It's so rare when it happens, and it just put me in a good mood all weekend, man.
Well, good.
Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba.
Why do space musical instruments vibrate so much?
You got me, mister.
But
I
that's
don't
like
know.
how it instantly says like space or cosmic to me if you have that sound like the saw being
Theremin.
slapped. Yeah.
Yeah, Theremin's another one that's like that. I totally agree. Totally agree. Well, we should talk about it on the show, but
Right.
there were a couple of questions.
Yeah, we're live, so just make sure you remember that.
Are we live now?
Yeah. We're just because.
So my hilarious "you're listening to Sean's sexy slow jams" bit that I was doing for about 5 minutes.
Went around the
Oh,
globe.
you bet your sweet bippy.
Okay,
We ain't going nowhere.
it's hard to be embarrassed when you're so cool.
Living
All
it
of my
up.
life.
So, how do you pronounce the lead actor's name?
David Cornsweat.
It's Corn Sweat.
Cornsweat. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had the last name. It was the first name I was having trouble with.
David.
I don't know if you guys remember when we used to, in the early days of the show, and we would do paid promos on the morning stream.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time I sent in the copy, I like spelled Adam's last name phonetically. And then they proceeded to like get yours perfectly and then horribly mispronounce Kovacs and Leslie pretty badly.
All right. I don't know that I have this. Let me do this.
Yeah. Do the
This-
dinger.
This
do
I
the
got.
dinger. Do the dinger.
Well, I know what I can't do. I can't play the Dinger Zone theme on this show
Okay.
because
Oh, right.
they don't like it.
Monetization.
They even that little tiny bit, which clearly falls under parody, they're like, no. I'm like, it's
Right.
4 seconds.
Right.
But they're gonna lose. All right, whatever, man.
You could play that slow, sexy jam again and go, "Welcome to the Dinger Zone."
Hey, listen, don't think I'm not going to take some of this thing and like I have a lot of free time right now.
Are you allowed to say humdinger on YouTube?
No, that will allow.
Okay.
But only post 2014 is that okay. For a while there, it was no good.
Oh,
But
You
now,
got plenty of hum
That's-
and you need
that's
to add
okay.
some dinger. This is your zone. The dinger zone.
oh, right. We got to watch our language if we're on YouTube right now. Yeah.
no, you don't. I mean, not
Yeah, a
it-
little bit. Yeah.
So the thing that you need to definitely do, like up top, is no real hardcore cursing up top.
I see.
Like no F-bomb or anything up top. You can maybe throw a shit up top, but like once you're a couple of minutes,
I'm picturing the visual. Okay, guys, come on over here to throw one of those up top.
go throw a shit up top, please. But you can kind of you can get them away with more than what you would think, but it's called "Don't Tempt the Gods" as far as
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
concerned.
No, you're okay.
I think I'll use restraint.
Bruce.
Bruce is always good with that, man. Bruce has the best restraint of the three of us for sure. It's a neck and neck race for who's got the worst mouth. Portraits to me.
It's like, I've gotten way better than.
You have. You definitely have. I can remember in the early days you having to stop yourself from speaking because you were like, oh no.
This would have been tough to do live in our PG era.
Oh man, yeah, a lot of humming.
Yeah.
And All right. Well, let's
dinger some zone.
I'd play something, but we'll just get into it like this. Welcome back to HMP, everybody. This is a special edition of the Dinger Zone because we're giving this out to everybody. It was a big enough deal, I thought, that maybe we want to get on here and review James Gunn's Superman, seeing as how for 10 years in HMP Volume 1, we reviewed every single superhero movie and television show that damn near anybody ever heard of. Over 560 some odd episodes. And so a lot of our fans kind of came from that era and everything. So we figure, hey, let's go back and dip our toes in the HMP 1.0 for a hot second and talk about James Gunn's Superman because it's a big enough deal. This sucker has made at the box office. I had the numbers up, but I've totally lost my page. What did I say? 160 something million? Yeah,
212 international and 115.
122 domestic, 217 worldwide as of the estimation for this weekend and everything. So this was nuts. I went to see it Thursday at like 4 p.m. and the high class theater was, I would say, almost half full.
Wow.
It was pretty astounding at how many people were there, and I feel like for the most part, people kind of came away with good feelings on this thing. I thought.
I saw it at a pretty good. I saw it opening night, like Friday, like typical opening night kind of thing. Friday night after work, took my son. Two of us went, and it was pretty good house. The theater had most seats full. And
hold on, give me 1 second. I've just accidentally opened up a thing. There you go. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
But one thing that I was happy to see is there were a lot of the little kids there, because Superman and Batman, they have that appeal. And I'm seeing, the kids that are elementary or younger there. And that's something I haven't seen in superhero movies for a while. They're all made for those awful Gen X comic book freaks.
I saw this movie theater. I saw this in the movie theater, unfortunately, in a very crowded Atlanta movie theater, which means everybody's on their phone. Which means everyone's talking throughout the entire movie like they're in their living room by themselves. Thankfully, this is a loud movie for the most part. It's loud a lot, so I didn't have to hear the running commentary from those around me. It was annoying. It was very annoying. However, I like the movie so much that I was telling Bruce this, Portraits, when you were walking your dog. Is that this movie had the same effect on me that the first Lone Wolf and Cub movie that we watched so many years ago had on me, where I walked into this movie theater. I was sort of kind of looking forward to it. I mean, the fact that I was in a movie theater in the first place to watch a movie should tell you, like, oh, I kind of wanted to see the movie. But I walked out of the movie theater in a great mood, and it completely transformed my weekend. I have been in a great mood since I saw this movie because I enjoyed it that much, and it was a surprise. I did not expect to like this movie nearly as much because I think I said this on the show. Maybe I said it off air, but when it comes to Superman, and when you're nerds like the three of us, there's a tendency that Superman is sort of kind of boring.
Yeah.
And so you have the thing where, like, he doesn't have enough trouble in his life, so I really kind of don't like Superman. I mean, of course I love the Christopher Reeve movie because I'm movies because that is my era.
Yes.
But like, as far as the other Superman movies we've gotten in my lifetime, none of those movies really made me go like, wow. And this movie actually did that again. It actually pulled that off for me.
And they rarely make you say, that's Superman. And I think that's
Right.
probably the biggest thing. Because when you watch Batman movies, depending upon which ones and stuff, you can see elements of Batman within each of those.
Mhm.
But it had been so long since we'd seen Superman as Superman, where it just kind of, it needed to feel like Superman. And then like you said, it's a tough thing to do, especially when you've got kind of your, perfect godlike character and everything. It's tough to kind of humanize that in the right kind of way.
It's not enough that Superman is the strongest superhero in the world in his movie. Like that's fine. You also have to make him the best of us.
Yeah.
And this
Yes.
movie really pulls that off. And there's a moment I want to get to. And by the way, spoilers, everybody. From
Yes.
this point
Yeah.
forward, spoilers. Don't watch it. Don't watch another second because I'm about to ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it yet.
And
you
it's a
want
fresh
to.
one. It's a fresh one. It's worth seeing. Before we get
For
into
sure.
spoilers, I'll say this is not a spoiler. My biggest fear going into it, my single biggest fear going into it, is that it would not feel like a James Gunn movie.
Right.
I think it felt like a James Gunn movie, not a spoiler.
Without
to
a
say
doubt.
that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Without a
Good.
doubt.
So now we'll go into it.
Especially when you get into the other heroes, like once the other heroes show up, and it's the thing that he does better than anyone else. Like Guy Gardner I love, as you guys know, I love Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is a freaking joke. Guy Gardner is like the worst Green Lantern, even worse than Gnort, in my opinion. He's just terrible. He's an awful Green Lantern. He pulls off the magic trick of Guy Gardner is not like super like some superhero to look up to. You get that feeling from seeing him in this movie, but you still like him. How did they pull that off? For 40 years they've been unable to pull that off.
And Sean, you had to have been like me, where you were waiting for the moment that never came. But you were waiting for the moment, basically from JLI, when Batman punches Guy Gardner to shut him
You're
up.
right. You're right. I was waiting for
moment.
that. You know me too well, sir, because I was literally waiting for that moment and it never happened. And I honestly, I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad it didn't. And I think, like, to get back to my original thing when we were talking about spoilers here, like, they do a really good job of making Superman save everybody and look out for everybody, which movies have not done in many, many years. There's an IHOP that still isn't working from the time that they trashed that IHOP. But this movie, they do a very good job of that. But the moment where I understand that this is the Superman I have been waiting for forever is that great moment where I got emotional in the movie theater, where Superman says, he's like, I got to go after the dog. And they're like, it's not even your dog. It's like a foster situation. And he goes, I know. And he's not even a good dog, but he's alone and he's afraid, and I have to go find him. And
Yeah.
man,
That's
that
it.
moment right there, I was like, that's our guy. That's our Superman. And when I was talking to MVD online, I said, you can make like everyone gets this, making Superman the strongest. Everyone gets that right. It's that moment right there. No one has gotten for years and years.
The compassion of Superman.
But that moment right there is so real. And the fact that dog sucks, like, that is not a great dog. James Gunn pulls that magic trick off, man, where you understand just who Superman is literally in that moment. And I have been waiting for that goddamn Superman to show up for my entire adult life, and I haven't seen him until this movie. Thank you, James Gunn.
Hey, everybody heard me talk about Jacob if they listened to the first incarnation of the show, my old dog, and how I felt about that dog. But when it came time and it was his final days and I knew the poor little guy wasn't feeling well, I spent innumerable amounts of effort and untold dollars doing everything I could to help that dog stay comfortable on the way out, because,
Good. Good job by you.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing. But so that did speak to me. This Superman became my Superman during his monologue later on. I don't know if we want to hold off before we talk about the particulars of that, but it really hit me. It's my favorite words from any of the many inspiring monologues that Superman has given in the comics and in movies and in television. This one really said something that spoke to me.
Yep. If you have a problem with the Superman, maybe the problem is with you.
Well, I will say that I it took me some time to warm up to the characterization because, much like we've already alluded to, I grew up on Christopher Reeve, and then I also saw George Reeves on television when I was watching my afternoon obligatory superhero reruns every day.
Sure.
You know, like your average 23-year-old does on a Friday night. But anyway,
continue.
So I am used to the very thing we complain about is also jarring to me when it's not there, but I'm so used to the Boy Scout, and this guy is younger than any Superman we've seen if you don't count the Superboy that we saw with Tom Welling.
Right.
But he is still trying to figure things out. And it shows through, and I'm so used to Superman not needing to figure things out because he is the one that we go to when we can't figure it out. It took me a little while to warm up to that, but my 17-year-old son didn't grow up on the same Superman I grew up on. He grew up on Henry Cavill. It really struck a chord with him, and I think he went straight home and made an Instagram post that said, "Suck it, Snyder Bros. This movie."
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So.
I got to say, the intro to this movie also, if you ever had a question on whether or not James Gunn is a good writer, the intro to this movie with that three decades ago, parents send off their baby. The threes, everything happens in threes at the beginning. At that intro, that is so spectacular that we don't have to go through that again. We don't have to watch all that crap again. Everybody knows Superman's origin story. Even people who don't ever care, will never care about superheroes, know where Superman comes from. And so to fast track that, to get to the moment where you're like, all right, oh, and by the way, he's already Clark Kent too. He's been Clark Kent for a while. And he's not even a really good reporter, which I thought they did really great, because they also hinted at that with Clark Kent, with the Christopher Reeve Superman, that he was not really a super great reporter. It's just that he was always hanging around Lois, who made him better.
And he's a hell of a typist.
Oh, right. Yeah, because they keep having to throw away the typewriters. That's right. I forgot about that part. So good.
What I took from this is it was sort of a comment. I don't know if it's a comment on journalism per se, but it just had a lot to say about what it is to try to exist in the public sphere. But I got the idea that the only reason he has such a high profile job is that he can get interviews with Superman. And that is the only reason. And even his interviews aren't that good.
Right.
And they've got that complicated relationship with Lois where she likes her guy, but she's also annoyed that he's got this certain privilege that she doesn't have. And I don't want to dive into metaphors too much, but I mean, I think that James Gunn doesn't shy away from metaphors. So I'll let the people see what they want in those things. But it is something that gave me more thoughts that I've had in superhero movies for a while.
Yeah. I do have a question about how you guys see this moment. So when Lex Luthor's Instagram model girlfriend, she's taking all these pictures, right? And for some reason she's just lusting after Jimmy Olsen, who is the most plain dude in the world, which I love. Of course, we're nerds. So we love that moment, of course. But when she's taking all those photos and there's all the information in the background, what they basically say is that she was doing it on purpose by the end of the movie. Yeah. Do you guys read it that way, or do you read it that it was all accidental?
I read that it was all accidental. I don't think that they give her much credit, but I would love it if it's not accidental. I mean, I'm all for it, but that's just not how I read it. The only thing that I really remember is once she's there taking those pictures, nudging Silas, who's with me, the 17-year-old, and saying, "Hey, that's Miss Tessmacher. Do you know who Miss Tessmacher is? I can't believe they have Miss Tessmacher."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, they haven't called her Miss Tessmacher. Maybe it's not." And then he goes, "Otis, get on the computer." And I said, okay, that's definitely Miss Tessmacher. And then later they call her Eve. And, everybody knows that Miss Tessmacher's first name is Eve.
Do you know that character's full name, by the way, when he says, "Otis, get on the computer"?
I don't know.
Take a guess. If they're name checking Otis, his last name is Berg.
Beatty? Oh, Berg. Otis Berg. I love
Otis
it.
Berg. Come on, man.
I thought it was going to be Otis Nedley Beatty or something. I didn't know.
And one of the things, if you're still watching us or listening to us, this is a spoiler that made me so. This is the one that made me mad. Is that when Alan Tudyk's robot number 4 on IMDb is credited as Gary.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That sucks. You should not do that, IMDb. That is not your spoiler to give IMDb. That he should be listed as robot number 4, not Gary, because that is a great joke. That is a great joke. So Gary. Gary's a real name.
I hate when IMDb does little things like that, or like in weird ways, or if there's just cameos and stuff that they'll automatically spoil by putting him in the top 4 or 5 of the cast, and it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, this guy's going to be in it. It's like, well, damn it.
Yeah,
Bruce
why
Willis
did you do that?
You weren't even looking
ghost.
for it, you know.
It's so angry.
Bruce Willis as the ghost.
That's funny. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, seriously, if you pulled up Split and Bruce Willis was the first not in it, and you're like, you sons of bitches, what is this? I wouldn't put it past them.
I also want to give credit to both James Gunn and Anthony Kerrigan. Anthony Kerrigan is Metamorpho in this movie, and he is not Anthony Kerrigan-ing it up, which you want to. It's Anthony Kerrigan, man. Like, he is so great in Bill and Ted, the third Bill and Ted movie, and he's great on the HBO show that he was on for 7 years or however long that was. Barry, he's great in that, but he's always Anthony Kerrigan, right? He was unrecognizable to me as Metamorpho in this, which means that he's a pretty good actor, but also that James Gunn had to have been a terrible, like, he's like, oh, I got to give him this. I got to give him, and he didn't give him anything to be Anthony Kerrigan in this role. He just had to play it straight. And he is, for as little as he's in this movie, it's pretty cool to see him. And Metamorpho is one of those characters that is so easy to get wrong. I mean, DC Comics gets him wrong all the damn time. Yeah. But in this movie, he's pretty great with how they pull it off.
They play him just right. They set up the situation to where he'll have to do what he has to do, and then, bring him around to that thing. It's just, it's good writing is what it is all around.
Mm-hmm. And there's that great moment where Guy Gardner's like, I don't like him, I don't want him in it. And he goes, he doesn't belong in the Justice Gang. And he goes, Justice Gang, that's a cool name. Okay, he's in.
Yeah, like, Jesus, right now.
Do you think it was like a plus or a minus in Kerrigan's favor when it came to being cast in this, that he was Victor Zsasz in Gotham?
I think it probably helped him, because it seems like one of the things that James Gunn likes to do is, oh, you did this thing that's similar to a thing that you've done previously, so we know that you have that speed. So I would imagine that it probably was helpful for him getting the role.
He also looks at everybody and just goes, oh, you're an odd boy. Come with me, odd boy.
Mm-hmm.
So he does, like, this Malchin, you come with me. Oh, you're an odd boy. You come with me. Michael Rooker, you're an odd one. Come here.
I really was hoping that Dismalchin would show up in some capacity in this.
Oh, come on, man. Why are you playing that harmonica the way I love it? That, of course, David Dismalchin makes everything better. I don't know why he's not in this.
Well, there is right now currently an interview with James Gunn and Dismalchin, and they're both in caskets while they're doing it. Because that's how the interview's doing. Is like they're side by side, and each of them is laying in a casket, and that's how the interview's going down. It's the internet, baby.
There used to be a more elegant time, where you didn't have to eat hot wings, you didn't have to lie in caskets. All you did was you just had conversation.
Yeah, but well, after Dick Cavett was gone, that was about it. Then we just kind of threw that one out the window. We were just like, hey, how about you eat this? I will say, though, at least with Hot Ones, you are getting like real answers out of people that are currently dying. So
and real questions too. They do ask. He does ask that. I will give that guy credit. He does ask hard questions.
Sean Evans is a good, like, he researches things very, very well and stuff.
Yep.
He's not Nardwuar level, but close enough.
Oh man, you just dropped some Nardwar. Wow.
Nobody knows the dirt like Nardwar. Like that man works for the CIA or something.
It's
for
true.
Sure.
I don't know how he gets it all.
Looking at it, my favorite thing is just seeing any rapper's mind get blown by him knowing some information about like the street they grew up on. They're like, get out of here. Why did you know that? Like only 4 people know who that is.
Oh, did you guys have a favorite bit of casting or any favorite surprises in the casting?
I was surprised by something, and I was surprised that it's never been tried before. And it's that Michael Ian Black playing that reporter, or the the guy who's like
news magazine fellow, almost
like sensational news guy.
Yeah, Godfrey Goodson or whatever his name is.
Clevis Thornwall. I'm looking at it right now. That's how I know.
I love it.
I wouldn't have known otherwise. But Michael Ian Black, who I've loved and who I've loved since he was on the state. But there is a thing about him where you're like, I don't know if I would like you in real life.
Yeah.
Because you have a speed to you, sir, where it's anyone's guess of whether or not you are a good person or not. I can't really tell by your public persona. And so to have him be, although he is a very funny person, but to have him in that role is a great bit of casting, because there is something about him where you're like, I don't know if I like this guy or not. And it was really well cast.
And he's like, like he's had a lot of good on-camera experience and stuff like that with like Forever, how he was doing Best Week Ever and stuff like that. So he's got the little snark thing that he can kind of do and meld into that sort of deal. So I feel like it's a fastball for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you have some favorite casting there, Adam?
Just Mr. Terrific. That was
he stole this movie for me. Yeah.
I had nothing going in, and I was just like, I think I don't even know if I've read a Terrific book at any point that he's in it, right? So I've only seen the character in drawings and stuff, and I'm like, okay, the guy with the T in his face. We'll see how that rolls. And sure, shooting credit to Gunn and gang. He looks exactly like the book and everything, which is awesome. Yeah. And then we put together this performance that is just this low-key, intelligent guy who's, got these sphere robots and stuff that kind of help him do just about everything. But his like low-key delivery and everything is just so fantastic. He's very, very cool. And like, I also like when he gets frustrated and stuff. So it's like he's not unflappable. So like he's got just enough interesting little character bits and stuff. And I'm so happy that this guy of all people got, this role to be as cool as he was, because he was in X-Men First Class and we killed him in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Darwin. And he was also in the beloved those movies about the vampire that falls in love with Robert Pattinson. Twilight.
Oh, is he in those? He's in those movies?
He's Laurent, the French / person of color werewolf.
Oh.
I think he's the main bad guy in the first one, if I remember correctly. I have to go back here. Let me watch it. I'll be right back.
I just know him from Peacemaker.
Oh, it's good there too.
Yeah.
But this guy, man, he brings the energy where I'm not going to try to talk you out of a bad idea. I'm going to go let you try it for a minute. Then I'm going to come do it right. Like that is something that I like to see out of a guy. My personal favorite casting though was Maxwell Lord, because I did not feel that coming. And I love Stars Hollow. I love Gilmore Girls.
And of course he's playing Maxwell Lord, because Maxwell Lord is going to be in the DC universe for the next 10 years. So of course it's going to be Sean Gunn. Of course.
And I'm familiar with that character from a long time. And I bring a whole lot of thoughts and expectations into it, and not a single one of them is fulfilled by Sean Gunn. I'm still here for it. I want to see what a Weasley little Maxwell Lord we get.
He's going to be portrayed a lot better than he was in Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, that's not possible.
But hey, it could be better. For the movie that we were all like, what the fuck were we watching here? What is this?
If that movie didn't come out during COVID, I think that there would be a lot more angry people.
That movie is the filmmaking equivalent of like having the ball set up on the tee, and you go and not only do you miss the ball, but you poop your pants in the backswing.
It's true. And not only that, man, that movie is so bad that it literally took the blinders off of almost every man in America to just go, wait a minute, Gal Gadot's a bad actress.
We all got red pilled real fast on that one. We were like, wait a second.
there were no movies to see. The first movie surprised everybody by being better than it should have.
Yep.
You got the guy who's been in practically everything, Pedro Pascal, but he's got all this goodwill from The Mandalorian, and you got 80s nostalgia. You got an awesome trailer. I mean, come on. I love the music and the trailer on that one.
It is
and
cool.
It's like you went as far out of your way to do what was it Todd Brown that made Joker 2? Oh my gosh, Folly I Do. You Folly I Do it all over us with Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
It
They tried.
Somebody we haven't talked about yet. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane.
Oh, that's the Lois Lane I never knew I needed. She's
great. She's so good in this, and like she's putting Clark to the screws in that one scene, and with good reason. She's trying to show him you aren't nearly as nuanced as you seem to think you are.
Yeah.
And in that one scene, you don't ever have to say again, I am smarter than you, because I've already done that. And so now for the rest of the movie, she gets to be that person without having to have every 5 minutes, I'm actually smarter than you. I'm actually smarter than you. And it totally, totally works.
She brings an edge that's been missing since Margot Kidder. And I mean, Margot Kidder had her problems, but she really defined Lois Lane for us. And that Rachel Brosnahan brings that, but improves upon it.
Agreed. And the fact that
I'm a Miss Maisel fan.
Well, of course, man. I mean, how can you not be? I mean, that show is great, and she's great on it.
She got to make out with Superman and Shazam. Take that, everybody.
And she's wearing like proper shoes. She's not wearing shoes that would like you'd be traveling through Jurassic Park in.
It's true.
Nope, she's got like chunky big old boots on or whatever the hell it is. It ain't stilettos. We know that. So that's good. No, she's really, really great in it. And again, they have good enough chemistry together that it works. You buy those two together. And again, that's another great part of like, we don't have to, I love the fact that Lois already knows. We don't have to go around and do any of the pretending and stuff like that. We just we get to the meat and potatoes of it all.
Yeah.
You just get rolling.
Yep.
And I love the, when they're having their little scene there and the big fight's going on in the background, giving us this great giant superhero fight that's out of focus. It's so great.
So
and
good.
it looks really good. It's very, like visually, it's just astounding. And again, all out of focus and whatnot. So you're still kind of trying to look at it, but there is enough engaging stuff within the conversation of these two that you're looking at it, but you can't help but notice the Green Lantern thing going across every now and then. Like, what's happening back there? It looks like a jellyfish.
And they've done they've done another thing too, because there's two things happening in that scene, but there's a third thing that's like the secret, like, oh, we're going to start this early too, where Superman says, oh, it's just a sprite from another dimension. That is that line has a lot more gravitas than most of the people in my movie theater were able to pick up on.
And I challenge Adam to spell it.
I can't even.
Got him.
I can't even say it.
I went to middle school, baby.
I've actually been in debates on the proper way to say it.
So like, I mean, everybody's. I can't think of a bad. Is there a bad performance in this movie? I can't think of one.
I can't either. I do want to get Adam's opinion on something though, because Adam, you seem to be way more invested in comic book newspaper business than the rest of us. I'm dying to know what you think of this Perry White.
Oh, come on, he's good. He doesn't have a whole heck of a lot to do, but what do you? I just wanted to hear him for in a 3-minute scene and go shit.
Well, yeah, that's what we all want. At least one. I felt like he was underutilized just because he didn't do that. He may have had more lines than anyone else in the movie. I don't know, because I was waiting for that one.
Once the island starts splitting apart, you can drop that right there. Kind of perfect for it. It's like, what are we going to do to get this back together?
If you're only going to drop one of those in the movie, he needs to drop it, and it becomes the extended cut.
Is there anyone? And look, I mean, we are releasing ourselves all over this movie. That's how much we love this movie. But like, is there anyone other than Nathan Fillion who could pull off Guy Gardner? I was thinking about this because your want these days is to go with somebody like Woody Harrelson, but
That's
he's
who I was
wrong.
going to say. Yeah,
He's
Woody's
wrong.
about-
Nathan Fillion is basically the only person who could do it.
When I saw the role and what he's doing with it, the only other person that I felt like could have done something akin to this, it would have been the same, but something very akin, would be Will Forte.
Oh, wow.
Will Forte could do this role.
You are right.
Yeah.
He would be very good in this.
Put in that hat and stuff, and has to keep that straight going the whole time and everything, while saying the wildest and most outlandish things and getting pissed off and stuff like that. That's up Will Forte's alley.
The only thing is that his eyes are too wild. That's the only thing, and that's not that man's fault. That's what he was born with. But man, he's got some crazy eyes. Will Forte.
He could bring that Guy Gardner up to 11 right there if they wanted. He
definitely could.
So yeah, that would be my guess for it. But Fillion does fantastic. My dad, who's a giant Fillion fan, because of course he's of the age because he's watching Castle, because that's what every old 7-year-old does.
Right. I forget. That's one of those shows that we talk about all the time. Where like that show's been on for like 15 seasons. The man is a multimillionaire because of that show. He made $11 on Firefly, but this show that none of us have ever watched is how he owns 4 houses.
Yeah.
Is Bruce Campbell also in Castle sometimes?
Oh,
I'd have to ask my parents.
I think he is, and I could just imagine what it's like shooting with those two at the same time.
No kidding.
He was probably that was probably his Burn Notice years though.
Maybe Burn Notice is what I'm thinking of. I don't even know.
He was definitely in Burn Notice, and he said he loved that show.
I watched that show for a while. I was so interested in the writing of that show because every week you have to beat the bad guy, but you can't call the cops every week. And watching that high wire act for like I've watched probably like 4 or 5 episodes of that show. And I was like, wow, that was pretty spectacular writing, how they got themselves out of that situation. But then, they had the same 5 things that they did over and over again. I was like,
okay, 22 episodes a season, stuff like that. So you're just like, all right, how many times can we do this?
Right.
So how about our Lex Luthor? I've kind of given up on Lex Luthor in the post-Hackman era, but I think they finally got it right. I really thought maybe they had gotten it right the last 2 times, and I was proven wrong in various ways. But I like this Holt kid. He may have a career ahead of him.
Yeah, it turns out he's pretty good. Turns out that guy who's been acting since he was 5 is a pretty good actor.
Just glad they didn't go with Kelsey Grammer for Lex
Luthor.
Go ahead.
I take it for granted. Like I totally took Nicholas Hoult for granted in this movie because I knew that those scenes were going to be fun because it's Nicholas Hoult. And maybe it's just because we had Nicholas Hoult month that made me like just go, oh, that's going to work. Whatever he chooses is going to be great. I mean, that war boy is going to pull that off just fine. Don't you worry about that.
And I really like him pulling in the younger Luthor to go off of the, Gen Z Superman.
Yeah.
And it's nice because he's still really young for Lex Luthor, but he's like who Superman would call some old guy, he's 35 or something.
Yeah.
and I remember, when we were 35 and we thought if you haven't conquered the world yet, Alexander the Great had already conquered his world by then. And now at the ripe old age that we are, we can look back and slap that kid in the face.
Well, he had a couple of advantages, that Alexander the Great.
Real fast. I want just one more thing about Nicholas Hoult here and everything is that I feel like I'm watching this entire movie, and I mentioned it in the live stream that I did a review of this movie and whatnot. I feel like he's doing Tom Cruise in this movie.
Oh, I see it.
It's a very Tom Cruise performance here. And it's fantastic. I love it.
I didn't see it till this moment, but now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, that's
so good.
That's really good, man. And he's doing the thing too that Tom Cruise just does naturally, where he's smiling and stuff in character, and it never reaches his eyes.
Yeah.
which I've seen Nicholas Hoult in other movies where his smile reaches his eyes, which means that boy is acting underneath all the acting he's doing.
Yes.
Come on. But we get that great moment too. We get that great Loki Hulk moment in this movie with Superdog and Lex Luthor. Come on, man. Come on.
Audience cheered for that.
It was there. Literally everybody in the movie theater was like, "Yeah!" when it happened. So good.
Great dog.
What did you guys think about Hawk Girl? My sources tell me that at 5'1", she has the record of the shortest non-little person to be cast as a superhero.
Who are your sources? Name names.
Me.
I don't remember. It's like an article on Yahoo.
That sounds like something Yahoo would pump out there.
I love the screeching, man. I love the screeching. I love the screeching. I like this actor that plays the role. I don't know her from anything else, but I love the screeching.
I like that it's like while she's doing the screeching, it's in the flying shot that where we have the super wide angle lens and it's right up in their face and everything, and she just right at the screen and wide, just this wide angle thing. And I'm laughing like so hard because I was just like, this is so stupid, but it's great.
Anyone who's ever been married to a short lady can tell you that screeching's accurate.
Now that we're speaking to this, I just realized something, which is that I wonder if James Gunn still has that part in his brain, even though he's in control of the entire DC universe at this point. If he still has that part in his brain where he goes, "Good luck trying to write this character, boys." Like I wonder if he has that, because
I hope so.
How do you write those characters successfully if you are someone else, since they're so nutty?
Well, I mean, didn't he have a writing team help him out with Peacemaker? There are weirdos out there that can do it.
Yeah. I will say this: Peacemaker got a big giant chuckle of recognition and stuff from everybody in the theater. They loved it.
My theater loved it too.
As we're sitting down watching the previews before this movie, I asked my son, I said, "Do you think we're going to see Peacemaker?" And he said, "There's not a chance. Not a chance we're going to see Peacemaker."
Awesome.
I would have thought there's not a chance we don't see him in this movie, to be quite honest, because it felt like, like smartly so, they want to convene this whole universe together between their television, their animation, and their live action movies and stuff like that. And you got to start integrating in this kind of way. And this is how you do it. We didn't have a whole big thing. He was on television for 5 seconds. The audience made the connection. They know that this is all part of that same world and universe now, and we moved the hell on.
And done.
Great.
And done.
Yep. Super good. That's exactly how we need to do stuff like this. And I heard some people complain, and I think wrongly so, that we didn't, everybody goes that, everybody's first movie is like their first comic, blah, blah, blah. It could be that sort of thing. And we didn't
Shut up.
I know. And we didn't give background for like characters like Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner, to which I said, we don't need those things. And
you don't need those things.
And someone mentioned that if indeed we go into any of their backstories and stuff, it's more than likely going to end up being in whatever television form of this thing that they get, like the Green Lantern Corps or something like that. You'll explore more of, who Guy Gardner is and crap like that in the television show. And that's where you should do stuff like that takes a longer time to tell those stories. Do that in the longer form thing and then leave the big stuff to the movies.
Exactly. And if you're going to complain about anything in this movie, the one thing you can complain about is, Lex Luthor's making another land grab. That's about the only problem I have with this movie.
It only happens until the very, very end. Mm-hmm. So, because I was happy for them. Like at the end, that was the only part that was just like, it's a little bit of a myth. But like I said, because you waited till the very end of it, I didn't much care at that point. I was like, all right, I'll pass.
I felt like the Earth splitting was a lot like California breaking.
A little bit.
I kept waiting for the world to go backwards.
Well, at least we didn't have this is going to be the poor district and this is going to be the rich district or something like that. We didn't get into that kind of weird sort of land, which is really you knew to split it exactly where the Mason-Dixon line was in town.
And at least the post-credit scenes are like nothing. It's great.
Yeah.
We're not introducing some brand new thing. I was so glad. Both of those scenes, because I waited and I was like, oh no, man, please don't do this to us. Don't do the thing that they do already. And it wasn't that at all. It was great.
Just another little moment.
Is there going to be a Supergirl movie with that drunken Supergirl?
Yeah.
Yes.
This was the back door in. And I got to be honest with you, Bruce. This is the first time that I kind of got on board with that idea. Because I kind of not that I knew what they were doing ahead of time or whatever, but I was just like, okay, now that they put the fact in, we got Crypto right here because Crypto's going to be with her in the movie as we've just seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
her dog.
The idea that she's going to a place with a red sun and everything so she can get drunk. And obviously we're going to learn a lesson as things go on and blah, blah, blah. But it's classic superhero stuff, right? And I think that that's what we need more of. Do it in this method. And because when they first announced this girl as Supergirl, I was like, geez, what the hell? This tiny little nothing of a. But with what we're going for, I get it, and I'm kind of on board with it.
It's not so much the casting; it's the characterization. I'm afraid it can come off as just like one joke stretched out too far. That's the only.
Oh, come on, man! I don't know who's writing the script. I would think James Gunn has a hand in it.
He's a producing, he's your Feige in this situation here. So I feel like it's gonna. And again, he wrote this thing, so I feel like he's gonna have a good hand in all of it.
I'm fighting myself here, Bruce, because I do see what you're saying here. Where if it's not handled correctly, it could be a thing where it's listen, I don't watch any DC movie unless I know that it's written and directed by James Gunn. That could totally happen here, but for this being the first one of the James Gunn era, I could not be happier. I just could not be happier with the way things turned out.
It feels nice. It feels fresh. It feels like we have some, it's what we want from these things when we say we want them, be they Marvel or DC or Star Wars or anything. It's give me some of the same, but make it fresh and different enough to where I don't feel like I'm eating the same meal again.
Exactly.
It's the first time that an attempt at some fresh air at Warner Brothers for the comic book properties has worked since they had Heath Ledger as the Joker, which was at the time a risk.
Disagree with one thing, because I think that Gunn's The Suicide Squad also had that same thing. It's just I'm sorry, go ahead.
I agree that is the same thing, but that wasn't a marquee movie. That was a throwaway movie. I guess that's what I mean, is that wasn't Warner Brothers taking a risk on that fresh air. I think they just let him make a movie because things were so dismal. Yeah. And yes, I agree that movie is what led to this movie, but breathing fresh air into people like Peacemaker is a lot different than people like Superman.
I agreed. Totally agree.
I'm interested to see where things are going. I like the kind of new characters and stuff that we're kind of introducing. I think James Gunn is the perfect guy to get those kind of ancillary type of characters. We've seen it with all the Marvel characters done. We've seen him with Peacemaker and all the characters that are in that and stuff like that. He can breathe life into these kind of misfit toy characters and stuff like that and make him interesting and whatnot again. And that's what we need. We need stuff that may be old, but is fresh and new to us. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of James Gunn, so I'm pulling for this ride to go on as long as it can, but I've fallen out of love with other people before too, so we'll see what happens.
It's true.
So James Gunn is Superman, right?
To me, yes.
He wrote Superman. He's Superman in the story he wrote.
No,
that's James Gunn, 100%.
No,
are you kidding me? Big giant dog lover. He's hated by all the people online. A whole bunch of monkeys that are writing stuff like that. I'm telling you, that part. But I think you're absolutely right with those aspects to it. I think he probably pulled some aspects from his own life. I think there is not a single person in the world, even a massive James Gunn fan like Bruce or a massive James Gunn fan like you or I, would ever think that James Gunn has the patience of Superman, because that guy goes off. That's true.
That guy is a yeller and a screamer, and that ain't Superman, dude.
I think he did bring his heart into it, though, when Superman's finally given his monologue and he says, I get up and I try to make good choices. And yes, I make mistakes. I mean, that's how James Gunn didn't just give up when he had a good chance to give up. And it's like, when you do make a mistake, what do? Well, you just keep trying to make more good choices. And that's the greatest power. And it's yours too, even though you don't realize it. Like, I love that whole thing. That's the way I needed to be spoken to. I love
and also kind of feels like he's yelling at Marvel a little bit within some of these speeches and other things, going like, hey, come on now. I get it. But yeah, also, so let's do a star rating on this bad boy.
Oh man, that's unfair.
I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go ahead and open up with 4 stars because it is thoroughly enjoyable, which is what I needed, what I wanted. I'm an older guy, so the 5 stars I'm a little hesitant to give away after a first watching. Personally, right now, not my favorite James Gunn movie, but I love this movie. So I'm going to give it 4 stars.
All right. What do you think?
Oh, okay. So I think I said this off air earlier, where it's too fresh for me, man. Like this movie could be a garbage, and I don't know it because it pulled the trick off where it was like, hey, you know that Superman that you thought you wanted? That's not the Superman you actually want. This is the Superman you want, and it pulled it off. That's a hard thing to do, and this movie does that. However, I've also seen a bunch of Star Wars movies where after I got out of the movie theater, I was like, well, that was terrific. And then in hindsight, you look back and you're like, wait a minute, what do you mean somehow Palpatine survived? Like these things happen to us, and so to nerds specifically. I want to love this movie with all my heart. I want this movie to be my favorite Superman movie of all time. I can't say whether it is or not. I will be able to tell you in 10 years if I think it is or not. But right now, I've got to give it a 4 stars, 4.5, because I don't want stuff getting clipped off and like, hey, look, loser, this is what you said, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I think I'm going a solid 4 on this as well. I really liked it. It could grow more. I don't think that this is going to necessarily be like an episode 1 situation where we all saw it 5 times just going, something's good in here, damn it, I know it. But there were a couple of good elements in that movie, so there are things to take away. You know, your Duel of the Fates and like stuff looked very cool, but you know, you had to admit
Duel of the Fates
that,
is in the first movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, like it was just like man, unbelievably good. Just makes me so happy just even thinking about that song.
Great song.
But man, yeah, it's certainly not of that level. I don't think it's going to go. If it goes down any, it'll go down just slightly. I don't think it'll go down dramatically. I don't think I'm going to wake up and go like, shit, this is a 2-star movie. What am I talking about? I don't think that's going to happen. But I feel like it could go up, maybe down just a little bit. But I feel like a solid 4 is right up that alley. So that's a good recommendation. Let's see what we've got here a little bit in the chat while we're kind of going through things. Holtz Lex is by far the biggest a-hole version we've seen yet. Now, I'd say that's correct.
Yeah, agreed.
But again, he feels like a super villain, doesn't he? He feels like a guy who's going after stuff. What did you guys think about the kind of calling out chess moves, as it were, for the fight and whatnot?
Oh, I loved it.
Some people hated that. I thought it was fine.
I was somewhere in between.
They're trying to show you that he's a tactician. I think that's a good way to do it.
I think they're also trying to show you he's a control freak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair? Yeah.
Both things work.
Yeah. And kind of for lack of a better term, a bizarro Superman.
I thought, I thought that was a little cheap. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that it's the same trick that they do in The Boys. And so I was like, that's not your plot, sir.
Yeah.
That's The Boys.
I thought it was a nice amalgamation because we have hints of Doomsday, because when he's in his Ultraman thing, the hood and the glasses is like the early version of Doomsday before we got to see him unmasked and see what he really looked like. I think there's nice allusions to Connor Kent or Connell, whatever you want to call him, because Lex Luthor blended his DNA with Superman's to come up with the perfect person that would be, someone he could control. So there's a little bit of that there. And then it also has the Bizarro character rolled into it, and the actual Ultraman, which is a Superman from, I think, Earth 3, who's evil.
Where's Electric Superman at? I want him back.
That's Grant Morrison, right? Ultraman. That storyline with the
so.
JLA. That's Grant Morrison's guy.
I think so. And
he's a big fan of the All-Star Superman and stuff like that. James Gunn is obviously, as you can tell, with some of the iconography within this movie itself.
I mean, the Fortress of Solitude. That's almost exclusively Grant Morrison's version of that. I mean, pretty cool.
And the only twist to the origin story, or the only talk about the origin story, because wisely they don't spend much time on it, but the only time they do address it is a twist where his parents sent him there to conquer. I didn't know how you guys felt about that. Does that take anything off of it for you, or add anything to it? I believe like something I'm surprised I hadn't read before. Like, it seems like now a nice obvious twist.
Yeah. I've believed for many, many years that Bradley Cooper wanted to have his children enslave this planet. So
I'm of two minds of that kind of reveal. Part of me is just like, it's nicer to have that just be always kind of like a mission of good. It's just like, hey, because Dad was a scientist and everything. It's just like, somebody that wants further for humanity and stuff like that. And that was kind of the idea, not go and enslave everybody. So
I like the idea that you have to judge Superman and not his parents' intentions, but who he became. And then the nice thing at the end, a beautiful, what I would call thank you to adoptive parents everywhere, when he's like, it's your parents. And then we get to see people we didn't even talk about who brought the most authenticity to rural America I've ever seen.
No kidding. That was pretty incredible. And I'll say this too. It does put he's making his own choices, and there's something really great about that versus, well, we come from people who are godlike on their own home planet, so of course he's going to come here and he's going to be great also. Like, the fact that he makes the choice, it's kind of the opposite of when people are trying to nitpick Indiana Jones, the first Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they're like, well, he even if he didn't show up, the same outcome would have happened. And that's kind of what makes this kind of great, that Superman has made the choice to do good. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, ultimately, I do like it, and it gives a little bit more agency, and like I said, a little bit more of
agency. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Portress.
Yeah, it makes it so much better. Oh, I'm thank God he said just kidding after this, but he said red and blue Superman, give me. No.
Get the hell out of here with that. Thank you. I'm glad you're just kidding.
Only needs someone to show them the way. I agree. That was kind of that to me. His speech in Donner Superman was really, really good.
It is great.
It's great.
It's great.
I think James Gunn's also paying homage to a classic Twilight Zone, To Serve Man.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Blow a little dust off that book, and then blow a little more dust and a little more dust.
Had a good 40 humans.
Well, that is it, everybody. Thank you for joining us live on this another edition of the Dinger Zone. And we do this normally at patreon.com/HMP. There you get the pre-show of our show, the post-show, and the Dinger Zone. Sometimes we do top five. Sometimes we'll review whole-ass movies like this. So do us a favor, go over there and support us over at patreon.com/HMP. We love y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Hot damn, this was fun.
Yeah.
Hot damn, this was fun.